But sir, what if I don't have money? Hi everybody, I'm Ryan, and today we're going to talk about Pioneer budget decks. I think budget decks are a really important part of Magic. It's a way people can get into Magic without investing too much, which in my opinion is the worst part about the game is that, you know, the best game in the world, you need to pay so much money just to get involved with it. And so budget decks that give you a chance at your local tournaments, you can pick up some wins here or there, maybe win some packs, even against tier 1 decks, is a really, really important role to fill. So what I wanted to do today was talk about my top 3 favorite budget decks in Pioneer. Now, a little disclaimer, they are going to be all aggro decks because it sort of turns out that aggro decks or really weird combos are the decks that have a lot of cheap cards because commons and uncommons are just like very good in these decks. But my favorite budget deck in Pioneer is the mono red Leyline deck. And you can do this with primarily commons and uncommons. Basically, the deck is based around Leyline of Resonance, which is a 4-mana enchantment that you can start with on the battlefield. And then whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell that targets only one creature, you can copy the spell and choose new targets for the copy, which leads to these crazy, crazy turns where you play these very powerful 1-drops and then pump them up with pump spells. If you started with Leyline of Resonance on the battlefield, then you get to double the pump spell. And with Cacophony Scamp, if you start with Leyline on the battlefield, play Cacophony Scamp, and then have 2 pump spells, it is a turn 1 kill because you can just like sacrifice Cacophony Scamp when it deals over 10 damage to your opponent and then deal that damage to your opponent, which is super, 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 super sick and can catch the best decks in the format by surprise. My second favorite budget deck in Pioneer is the Ensoul Artifact deck, which actually can be pared down into being a pretty powerful budget deck. Basically what this deck does is it plays a lot of cards that either create artifacts or are artifacts themselves. Is a decent like nickel and dimey aggro deck on top of that, and then plays Ensoul Artifact, which is a 2-mana enchantment where you enchant an artifact, and enchanted artifact is a creature. It with base tower of top is 5/5 in addition to its other types, which means as early as turn 2, you can be attacking with a 5/5 creature, and if you put it on a Darksteel Citadel, it's an indestructible 5/5 creature. If you put it on a Smuggler's Copter, you get to loot every attack because it's in addition to its other types. And then you can kind of finish your opponents off with cards like Shrapnel Blast and Nickel and Diming with your other cards and stuff like that. My third favorite budget deck in Pioneer is the Wizard Burn deck, where basically it plays a bunch of wizards and super aggressive red creatures, and then a bunch of burn spells and draw spells, and really capitalizing on this card Wizard's Lightning, which becomes a lightning bolt if you control a wizard, literally just 1 mana, deal 3 damage to anything instant. And it's effectively a prowess deck that is capitalized on playing a lot of instants and sorceries and these wizard synergies. As far as the prices of these decks go, the mono red Leyline deck is around $33 in tabletop. Again, if you buy everything retail and no homies help you out, but a lot of these cards are unplayable, so you can probably get them for free from people. But it's around $33 in tabletop and around 11 tickets on Magic Online. The Izzet Ensoul deck is around $64 in tabletop and around 31 tickets on Magic Online. And the Wizard Burn deck is right around $26 in tabletop and around 53 tickets on Magic Online, one of the rare decks that's more expensive online. But if this was helpful in any way, please be sure to like and subscribe. Check me out on social medias. Links are above me and in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.